want a man in particular. 6 figure, 6 foot with vehicular.
What's up? It's your girl DJ Ruth Queen, and Rude Girl Live is back. I will be announcing the new dates, and shouts out to Izel Productions. You dig? Let's go. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? It's your girl DJ Ruth Queen, and we are back with Rude Girl Live, brand new. So today I am so excited for our first guest to be none other than the lovely Zoey Clarke. And
Hi.
yeah, and shouts out to our partner IZL. So listen, we're loving the new vibe.
Yes, this is cute.
Yes,
I
exactly.
like this a lot.
So Zoey Clarke, I know that you are, in the middle of a campaign. I've been looking at some of your stuff that you've got going on.
Started again, yeah.
Yeah, but when did you first fall in love with music? Like, what made you want to turn it into a career?
Well, I definitely first fell in love with music as a little girl. I danced, modeled, did pageants, all that stuff as a little girl. I always knew I wanted to be like on stage as a performer. But when I wanted to make it a career, I would say I was definitely debating on whether or not I would continue college or be an artist. And I just kind of felt like I had the sauce. You know what I mean? I felt like I could really do this for a living. And I just love music. And I just jumped off the porch and found the right people. And I've been grinding, making my own journey, I would like to say.
Definitely your own journey. And what I love about you is that you don't try to sound like anybody and that you're yourself and you're authentic.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
And I know a lot of the sounds and stuff that you use is like pop, but I hate calling it pop because it's like I really feel like it's too Afrofuturistic for it to even be labeled as pop.
Afrofuturistic is so... I've never heard someone describe my music like that, but I would say that's spot on.
It is.
Yeah, I love that because I'm always trying to make music that like... The music industry is so unpredictable. If I make a song and I drop it today, I want people to love it 10 years from now.
Yeah, it's just like, you got to think about it like this. Like, why does urban always have to be like rap or R&B?
Yeah, and everything has to be so current, so trendy. And
yeah.
It's like, you can be on
trend,
and
there's so many black girls that love pop and love Katy Perry and people like that. And they would love to have some pop music from somebody that looks like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, love it. They don't let us be authentic. They
well, guess what? It doesn't matter about what they're gonna let us do. Yeah. We're gonna tell them what we're gonna do.
Yeah, that's
and make it work on top of that without their support and help.
For sure.
Yes, exactly. Or with it, So, how would you describe your musical style right now? I know we were just talking about it, but I want to hear it out of your mouth.
Oh yeah, well, I would say pop, but mostly because like that's abbreviation for popular. So I definitely want to be the artist that makes music for everyone. Like, I get a kick out of performing at stuff where, like, the old people are dancing and the babies and the black people and the white people. Like, that's when I'm like, I had a good show,
Yes.
So I definitely think my sound is, like, global.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with you on that because, I do a lot of parties and things like that. And I think a lot of DJs, they think that everybody just wants to hear old school all night. But no, we want to hear like a little mix of both.
Yeah,
we want everybody to be happy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and as a DJ, I'm sure that's like super important.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're doing a wedding with Nigerians. Everybody else's request for anything other than Afrobeat is not happening. But that's okay. I come equipped anyways.
Gotcha.
So tell me about your creative process. Like, do you like to write from experience? Do you pre-write what you're going to say before, or are you like a freestyle girl, or is it a combination of all?
It's a combination. I was going to say, it really depends on like the producer I'm working with and what their creative style is. Because like some producers want to give you the beat before you even get there. They're like, when you get here, have an idea of what the concept and everything is. Other people want to cook up. They want to do everything from scratch in the studio. For me, what do you prefer? Yeah, the best thing is to hear the beat, and if I can already like envision the song, that's the track I want.
Okay.
Because if I have to work too hard on it, I don't want to do that right.
I feel that. That's how I feel. Listen, as a digital marketer or a DJ or anything like that, once something gets too hard, just scrap it and start over. Like, this is like too hard. Yeah, exactly. So, what's the one track in your catalog that feels the most personal and powerful, and why?
Oh, it's crazy? My single.
Right.
Solid.
Wow.
Because it's so funny when I listen to these articles people are writing. It's like, God, I was so spot on, because that's what this song was about for me. I was donezo with the music business, and I just really never saw myself really being this deep back in the industry.
That's because God called you for it. I'm telling you. Do you know how many times I tried to leave the industry?
This thing hunts
I
me down.
thousands of job applications.
It's wild.
I know.
It's wild to do this. I'm just always going to wonder what would have happened, you know?
That's I love that you said that, because I just want to let everybody know out here, like, would you rather not wonder, or would you rather just like try and risk it all? You literally only have one life on
Yeah,
earth.
you don't get to like rewind and do replay.
Yeah, everybody sees it where I'm at now, but they don't know about the endless grind from the time I was like a literal teenager, where people told me that this is crazy, it'll never work for you, you're just a token white girl and all this type of other stuff, and I have proved all of them wrong.
It's just crazy till somebody does it. Then everybody wants to come back and go, oh, I went to high school with her. I knew her. I know her son. Yeah.
Exactly. And they might. And I accept those people back in. I operate in a lot of grace. You know, like you can tell when somebody's being genuine and authentic, you know.
For sure. And everybody doesn't deserve to be.
No, well, that's all you who deserves to.
Yeah.
Okay. The person that takes no accountability does not. The person that comes back and say, listen, I know that I was wrong. I'm so sorry. I mean, I'm not saying you let them all the way back in and give them full access.
Yeah.
But those are the people that, like, you know, they actually were a big enough person to, like, take accountability.
Yes.
And I know everybody's always like, women in accountability, women can't take it. We take all kinds of accountability. We take more than a lot of times you guys do, sir. You guys, like, I'm just sorry to go off on a man rant just because everything going on with Cassie.
It's okay.
You guys don't want us to be accountable. What you want to do, what you're like confusing accountability and punishment.
Ooh, it's true, because they could never handle the things that they do to us.
Ever.
They wouldn't accept it or tolerate it, and they definitely can't emotionally handle it at all.
And then they say that we're the emotional ones.
No, not at all. That's not it.
Okay,
but that's what Solid was about. It's like definitely accountability.
I just want to say too, though, like, we don't like hate. We're not like man haters or anything like that. It's just kind of like this. Me being a white girl. When all of my black friends are talking about white people or white girls, like, I'm not going, hey, like, I hit dog hollers.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, too. And also, like, if you're in a relationship with a man and he's, like, talking a lot of shit, oh, you're a feminist and stuff like that, your man should support feminism and for real. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Because if he's not, then, like, what the fuck is he really on? Is he on about manipulation and control and all this type of stuff? And we're moving into 2025. Yeah. Things are moving very differently.
I was just going to say, I think feminism now, like 2025, feminism is whatever it is to you as a woman. Like, it's your right to be the kind of woman that you want to be. Like, unapologetic.
Just like a man. Men like to put themselves first.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For sure.
And this is coming from women that we've taken care of our families. We've given it all. And we really, really ended up with the short end of the stick after everything.
I know so many women like that, and so it's easy to fall into bitter.
Yeah, it's like you done cooked 3 meals a day for everybody, did everybody's laundry, made sure everybody took care of all these people from their soup to the nuts, and then they in their house mean and mad at you. You can get the fuck on, because I would rather have less chores to do anyways. And the other thing about that part too that's really funny about the chores thing, especially with teenagers, it's like they know that women can't stand a mess, so it's like they know that we're gonna go do it anyway.
Yeah, they do. They're real
manipulative, and they take advantage of that. Just like, you always make the cake or order the cake better or do this better than me.
You do it so much better than me.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah. Okay. So, do you prefer performing live or recording in the studio?
Ooh, equal tie for sure. Because those are the two favorite things about the music. I would literally opt out of the whole industry if I couldn't have the creative process or get on stage and perform the music.
Right. And I know you're a TV track girl, right? You're not or when I say TV track, okay, so when I say TV track, the TV track doesn't mean that your vocals are completely gone, but they're like a little bit lower.
Yeah, you know? I definitely
reference track.
Yes, I'm definitely that. I'm gonna say
track girl.
It depends on the show, because
sometimes you don't want to overproduce your show.
And I totally don't have a problem if I'm at like a festival and I need to have like hundreds or thousands of people hear me. I put my backtrack on there, turn everything up, and they can still hear me.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I love that too, because I notice that a lot of people, they'll be afraid to project in the mic, and you can tell that they just haven't like practiced.
No, live performance is everything for me. Sometimes I get up there, real talk, and when it's over, I'm like, dang, that just happened. outer body experience.
That's how we feel about, like, I go home at night, like, you know how, like, when you were, like, young or whatever, and you had your first boyfriend and your first, like, couple, like, encounters, and you'd lay down and you, like, dream about that in your head.
It's like surreal.
It's the same type of feeling with, like, DJing or my set or.
Do you run your set, like, back over and over again?
Yeah, I should have did that turn
right there.
No, I feel like that shit is so hard. Because honestly, I feel like performing is a lot like DJing too, which is why I'm very, very good at helping people learn how to perform and rap and
I can see that.
And do on the mic and everything like that. And the reason I'm so good at that is just like performing so much. You got to remember that 10,000 hours that they talk about.
Yeah.
They say that because when you put in the 10,000 hours doing anything, you do it easy.
Yeah, it's like in your sleep. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's next for Zoey Clarke? Collabs, singles. I know we've got this single, visuals. Like, what?
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait to shoot the video for Solid. Like, you know, when we were in the studio, they were basically just trying to see what I wanted to talk about next, right? And so I wanted to talk about relationship, but from like what I've been through with relationships, being in the business, people always think, oh, you need to be with a baller, you know. I can see you with this guy. Let me hook you up with my basketball friend.
Why do we feel so male-centered?
And it's like, no, I want to be with like the guy that
I
wants
love
to
be with me.
Yeah. And not Zoey Clarke.
So you don't date for status. Well,
it's also not been the best choices in life. But also just I feel like now I know the balance. Let me tell you
something, girl. It doesn't matter where the man is from.
They could
be from the status. It could be, you could have yourself a Future and you could have yourself a Russell Wilson. Yeah. And both of their ass like the same way.
It's true. And that's why people say, like, to be in love.
Better choose who?
You have to you have to choose your struggle, is what I feel.
Yeah, I feel like that
you're going to go through the same thing no matter what man you're with. And that's why I feel like it's important to be solid.
That's why I don't want to be with him. But yeah, it is important to be solid. Eventually, one day. But eventually
the most important thing is going to be when you're ready for that. Like,
you have to be healed.
And that's why every article has said this is a song for healed women.
Yeah.
And I feel like a woman trying to heal also can relate to the song because it's like, I don't need you to have the stuff that I can do for myself. I can buy a car. I can go to Ruth's Chris. I can do that already. And I'm not asking you to take care of my son, me, anything.
Listen, we don't want nobody to take care of us. We want to be cared for emotionally.
That's it.
Yeah. And it's more emotionally than physical, like on all levels. And like, just like different support, you know, like my business partner, you guys met her boyfriend that drove me here to help her friend out. And it's just like, when we're with Tay, and this is my business partner, and we're all working, and we can see that she's stressed out on a business call, like I'm opening the door for her. And I'm not even a man, and that's not even my bitch. But so why the fuck do I know how to open a door for a bitch that's on the phone struggling for her keys so she can get out of the car and maintain her composure on her business car and shut it and make sure she's straight? Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people, they don't pay attention to detail. They don't know how to not have main character energy.
Yeah. But, that's what's next for me is, like, finding my main character energy. Like, exactly. It's my turn. Like, it's your turn. That's how I feel.
And you're aging backwards. I think that the skincare has improved so much in the past 10 years.
My stress level.
And like, stress level, too.
When you eliminate things.
People say I look like, I'm trying to tell you, I'm Miss Benjamin Button over here. Like,
it is. I had, like, no desire to have the same friend circle, the same dating pool, like anything like that. And like that's what I feel is next, is like finding what my level of success is, and then really figuring out like who I want to be as a person.
So Zoey Clarke, you're still figuring out how to be. I'm telling you, that's one thing about life is that you will always be.
Every time I think I figured out who Zoey Clarke is, it changes.
Really? Yeah, see, now DJ Roots, when she's like always been the same, but I can say that I feel you on that about the changing and everything like that, because it does change, because things that I know now at my big ass age that I didn't know when I was 20, I would have like made so many different decisions.
Done everything different.
Like yeah. No, not really. I just would have, I wouldn't have trusted so much people is what I'm really trying to say.
Okay.
Because we got to remember, we were taught as little girls to be a Proverbs 31 woman. We were never even taught about Judges 4 a woman or Judges 3 and 4 a woman. We were never taught about that. And they used that. They used our own Bible, just like a slave Bible, to manipulate women and use that Proverbs 31 shit against us and press our boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we learned that from little. We didn't even realize that was like being implemented into us.
Yeah.
So we're growing up and we're thinking, I got to get married and have a kid and it's going to be
White House, picket fence, 2 dogs, 2 kids.
And now I'm on the other side of it, and I'm like, being free is so much better.
So,
or having a partner that is not controlling.
I was gonna say, so what is actual freedom for you?
Okay, so freedom. Okay, so this is my thing in relationships, like that. I think that Gen X has a problem with. Okay, especially I had just watched the Rockefeller Backstage documentary. They said to all of these men, all of them, you know who was on the DMX favorite part about touring and about Backstage. You want to know? They said, the white bitches! That's what they said! I was like, oh you could never say no shit like that now. And I feel like those kind of narratives is the reason why bitches is online arguing about black bitches and white bitches and colorism and shit like that. Is because of men perpetuating those kind of stereotypes.
But I think it's messed up because you're so right. But I think it's going to be women that changes.
We are going to be the ones that change it.
Because it has to be like us deciding.
Yeah, that's what this whole Cassie thing is big.
Yes. For me, watching that whole trial has really been like perplexing because I hate that her business is out there like this. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like so many of the conversations that we're having because of it are
Listen,
so
it's all
necessary.
About transparency. They are. It's all about transparency at this point, especially in business and things like that. Like that whole era, it was like literally even before YSL and in New York, it was just all a bunch of dudes sitting around sliming each other and fucking each other's bitches and shit like that. And that is wild. Not how Gen Z operates. It's not, you know?
Yeah. But it's what the industry chooses to like publicize and make popular. So then people think that's
so
Hollywood.
Much more in the music industry.
And there is. I know so many independent artists. Like
artists are where it's at.
So many artists I know are in such control of their music career. Cheers to being in control of your shit. Because I know so many people who are like independent touring, merch, like brand endorsements, and just really owning their own stuff and doing.
And that's the best way to do, because I want to say 2 words that I've learned recently: unjust enrichment. So when these music executives get together and they're making these deals for you, that's why. And I don't even want to say get a lawyer. You need more than a lawyer. You need like somebody that knows how to fucking read these contracts.
Yeah.
And in those contracts, like I would always say that financial transparency. Like I would never, ever, ever tell anybody to never, ever sign a contract unless there's some kind of financial transparency. Because if you're making $5 million on my name and you're like, I'm about to sign you for $100,000, like, and you're a starving artist, that might seem like a good ass deal.
Yeah, but where's the other 4.9?
In their motherfucking pocket. It's where it's going. And that's what unjust enrichment is. And that is actually stealing.
Yeah, it is.
And depending on what you do for a label and a lot of that stuff, it could fall under like labor laws.
So I'm interested in you talk about the Cassie case to see what that falls under for her, because I saw something that was
she was basically a sex slave.
I mean, it was wild. She had a 10-album deal.
I know.
Roots. And if you think about somebody like Beyonce, who is 20 years later just on her 8th
she was only 19.
album. It's been 20 years.
And she's only 19. And I just want to say, like, I don't think that she was an accomplice, because you guys have no fucking idea. These guys think that rape and sexual assault and abuse and coercion is violent. And I'm telling you right now, it's not. It's not.
You can kidnap somebody.
Well, you can, but I'm talking about the little girls that you guys are talking, basically like Cassie and Hallie and all these, and Meg, they're not seeing any of this. But your like niece that was molested by her uncle and is afraid to tell anybody, she sees that shit.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's the thing. Those type of situations are usually not violent. Like,
yeah.
Like,
because you're never hurt by somebody who's like coming up to you with a mask and ski mask and a gun. It's always like your person, like you said, that you feel like you can trust. Somebody
also that they got their dick out watching porn,
and you're like, wait,
and when you're a little girl, you're not equipped to even be able to process that. Not even at 19, until your frontal lobe closes. So that's why I'm like, who the fuck are you to shame a woman for anything, especially after how y'all act and all the bitches you run
I'm about to say something real unpopular opinion.
It's okay.
If 40% of the people getting molested and sexually assaulted are women, the other 60 have to be men.
They are.
So a lot of these men are acting the way that they're acting towards the conversation because it's a trigger
for what they've already been through. You also have to remember 97% of women have had some type of weird shit go down with a man, but 100% of men are saying that it never happened.
Yeah, so somebody's not telling the truth.
Right.
And I think that's what happens.
And listen, I just want to say, all of you that support us and see the creep shit that's been going on, we love you.
Period.
And we know it's not all men, but not all men is like all lives matter type shit.
Yeah, exactly. We're not talking about those.
That's back to what I was saying about that. Like, I really had to, like, in order to be able to see those things written about, like, what I look like as a girl, you know, I had to really step away from myself and decenter myself and understand that, like, they wouldn't even be having this fucking conversation in front of you if they didn't think that you was down and would be offended.
I'm talking to you, not at you.
Right. When I say men, I don't mean you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, when they say white women, they don't mean the 11% that voted for Kamala Harris and live in black society. They're talking about all the motherhood.
Right. I used to feel like that about, like, Kevin Samuels and different people. Like, he's not talking to me.
No, right. Well, that's a whole different situation. Kevin Samuels, I think he kind of, like, started a lot of this shit. He didn't even have no type of looks to even be opening his mouth to say no shit like that.
Do you think that they need looks, though?
Yes!
Really?
You damn straight.
That shit playing a different ball game.
Nah.
Well, trim is like...
I was about to say trim and fine shit.
Yeah, that's... Okay.
I said trim, fine shit. Okay. Those three words together. Yeah. Trim, fine shit. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So, yeah, the only way somebody like Kevin Samuels could get a bitch is because he got money. You know what I'm saying?
But he used to say that to people, though. He used to say that to men. Like,
honestly, I think that I agree with, even though Derek Jackson cheated, like, I'd be looking at some of the stuff that he says on Threads. I think he feels really bad about what he's done. Really trying to help women. So, you know, and that's another thing. I believe in redemption, too. Just because somebody did some shit, that doesn't mean that they're, like, horrible forever. But you gotta prove that you changed.
Yeah, the way to forgiveness is corrected behavior.
Exactly.
For sure.
It's definitely corrected behavior.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, you know, people are talking to me right now. Do you want to work with this person? What about they passed it? I'm like, didn't you see on their Facebook page they just got baptized? Praise Jesus. You know?
Jesus.
Yes, exactly. So I think that I know that whether you believe in God, whether you believe in Jesus a lot or whatever, I just want everybody to know that keeping God close to you and God in your life, I'm telling you that it makes your intuition be more on point and people can't trick you.
Connected to the source.
Yes, you gotta be connected to the right source.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
So Zoey Clarke, are we doing a music video for the song?
I'm super excited. Yes, because the video is about being solid through the ages. Like, the woman that has been solid, you know, since forever. And I just can't wait to show, like, different seasons where women have been strong, which is what the video is all about. And I'm also excited to get, like, my creative director on, because this is the first video. I love it. It's the first one that I've ever been able to, like, really work on from, like, conception. So, like, I'm really excited about this. And I'm really excited to let people know, like, my growth, too, because the words are words, but then you bring them to life, right? With the video. So, like, that's my opportunity to show them, like, oh, this is what she's been working on. So, I'm excited about the video.
And, you know, you got real fans out there, girl, for real.
It's crazy because I don't have a huge fan base.
It doesn't matter. That's never mattered. That never mattered. Tap in with your fan base. The size of the fan base has never, ever mattered. You know?
They're super lit.
Me and another artist that I was consulting, we were talking about that earlier too, especially with everybody gets so caught in knowing, like, everybody that's, like, the movers and the shakers and they forget that they need to go be meeting actual fans.
People. It's like you want to meet all these people. Yeah. You're doing these shows and you get in front of people who are also in the business like you. It's awesome to get respect from your peers.
Yeah, but like, you have to get out there and get
2023, I had to get outside.
I just had a crazy notion in my head that God told me to say. And that's what was so hurtful about the when I rewatched the Rockefeller backstage tour and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, like, the fans should have been treated better than that. Even if they were very young and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you had a tattoo of DMX on your butt, but now you got her on camera smacking her ass and playing with her shit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck didn't you, like, send her a package that had like, you know, DMX's new wine or any of them, you know what I'm saying? Or some type of fanfare.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
you got to take care of your supporters.
Yeah. I'm calling them white bitches. I was like,
yeah. Yeah, but you gotta remember
their performances were so good on DMX.
They were
it was
super
a different
young,
era, and it was a different time, and it really
Yeah.
was. And I say that, and I know people might, in popular opinion, I feel that way about Bill Cosby too. When it's like you're in a situation where like things are normalized and it doesn't like seem like strange.
It doesn't seem bad because everyone's doing it, kind of thing.
For example, when I was in high school, man, like we would like sit out and every chick, there would be like 3 or 4 chicks. They would just be, well, me too. We would be waiting for.
It's so crazy how that is normalized, and in the reverse,
now it's completely different.
It's completely different. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was definitely in high school, college boyfriend. It was the thing to do.
Yeah, I had a street boyfriend that would pick me up from school in 26. Like why was the officers letting us leave with like?
Because that was not our parents checking us out of school.
You can't even get out of school without your parents checking you out of school now.
You can't take them to school without having your ID.
I know, exactly. So we just like grew up in a really different time. So we definitely understand that, because at the end of the day, even though like we was underage, I still take responsibility because I wanted to be outside and I wanted to be around that. I just didn't know the risks involved.
Yeah. Well, at some point, like you said, word of the day, accountability. At some point, you have to grow up and just be like, okay, no matter what.
That don't make it okay.
Yeah,
it doesn't make it.
Forget the influences.
Yeah, it still doesn't make what they did okay.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Like, even if you did something wrong, sometimes it still doesn't make everything okay. But just so we're being clear, that's why whenever I do something wrong, I'm always like, why did A, B, C, D? Before I tell you what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
So, but most people can't do that. They just deny. And that
yeah.
should have never happened.
It's true.
I feel like the world would be a better place if everybody just took some accountability.
Yeah. But honestly, it's not easy because people are afraid of hurting people. So
yes, that's true. But you know what? I think that it hurts more to know that somebody like didn't respect you enough to
tell you the truth. Mm-hmm. That's me.
And you know what? There's also ways to tell people the truth. Just like with feedback. There's a reason why people hire me to give them feedback and send me money, because I'm not going to be like, fuck you, fuck
this
off and die. Oh, don't kill yourself. This shit is whack and horrible. Sounds like hot ass and garbage. I'm going to be like, the vocals was down here. Right here, you need elites and ad-libs. I'm actually going to get in there and tell them the right shit like a coach. So I think that that's really what it is too, is that people also like learning to understand when somebody is being, taking accountability. That doesn't mean that you like weaponize it the next time you have like an argument.
Exactly.
That weaponization shit is crazy.
Yeah, you have to completely move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree too. So listen, Zoey Clarke, tell everybody where they can follow you at.
Listen, y'all need to follow me on everything. No, you can follow me on my website, ZoeyClarke.com. Zoey with a Y, Clarke with an E. And you can follow me on Instagram, Zoey_Clarke. Zoey_Clarke on pretty much everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we have new music coming. I'm getting
new music out.
New music out. Solid is out on May 30th, and we have new music out right now. No label, featuring One Way Street. And you should just go ahead and just listen to the whole catalog. We've been dropping stuff since 2023, getting ready for this. So I'm super excited. The tour dates are about to be announced.
I still like that first song.
Which one?
Oh, it was like that EDM type song. It was like a house type song. I actually got hired at Onyx because I played it because they wanted to know that I was diverse.
Come on.
So I played that record. Do you remember the name of the record?
I don't. I've dropped so much stuff.
It was like the first campaign that I did for you. I like literally.
Oh, that was on Runway Music.
Yes. And there was a feature on it, and it was a big feature. I'm trying to remember who it was. Anyways. I'll tell y'all later.
Was it Fetty Wap?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay.
It was the Fetty Wap feature.
Yeah.
I literally got my job at Onyx because they were like, can you play diverse stuff?
I love it.
We don't just mean EDM without words. And I was like, and I played that record.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I love it. You know, that day, shout out to Wap. He's doing his time. Like a real stand-up guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait for him to come home to his kids and like really, I know he's in there just brain working on what he's going to work on. But I definitely love that day when we just kind of went in there and did that for both of us, because it was the first like pop record that he had ever done. And then for me, my first time collaborating with like an urban artist. I just love that. And this is the 10th anniversary of High.
Really?
So when you saying that, I'm like, is she talking about High?
Yeah, I am talking about High.
All my fans, people, are you doing something special for High? So
you should.
Yeah, WAP blew me up. Like,
yeah, you know what?
He did that.
You know what I think we should do for High? We should like put some money on his books or something.
Oh, I think his fans would love that.
Yeah, I'd be like,
his
don't
fans
put money
don't
on his
care.
books.
They're basically waiting.
It'll be very easy to find out his shit. You know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying?
Let's
like,
do it.
Easy. Yeah, I think so too.
I would love that.
That's all we want for the fans is to put money on the books.
To put money on WAP's books. Let's do something special.
10 years, yes. Let's do something special for him.
Okay.
So he can have all the ramen and Cheetos he wants.
I love that.
Well, listen, thank you so much. For the very first Rude Girl Live, we were at a brand new studio, Izell Productions.
Support Roots Queen.
Yes.
Rude Girl Radio. Thank y'all so much for having me. And I want to shout out, can I shout out some people?
Yeah.
I want to shout out Benjamin Button, who I co-wrote my single with. He is the guy behind Good for Usher and Summer Walker. I'm super excited to be his new guinea pig. And I'm just really lit about dropping all of our new music. And I want to shout out DJ Scream. Because I'm super happy to still be a part of the Hood Rich family, and just excited to see what them and our new distribution through Rock Nation. Like, so blessed that they're working with me and helping me touch new heights. So I just want to shout them out and say thank you for having me so we can get this party started.
So you heard it here first. Zoey Clarke, Rude Girl Live. Solid is out on May 30th. You know the vibe.
May 30th.
See you next time.